Senator Canavan, in continuation.
Thank you, Mr President. I did speak on this bill yesterday, and want to just reiterate. I thought some of my best work, Senator Xenophon, if I say so myself, but I did want to reaffirm that this is a bill that is about the future. It's about the government's plan to ensure that we have a future sustainable industry that supports medical research, a very important industry for our nation. It's indeed called the Medical Research Future Fund, but it's principally in place to ensure that we have a sustainable, long-term fund established that will continue to provide support and a platform for the undertaking of medical research over a long time. And as I said yesterday, I do hope that if this bill is passed by the parliament, it's not only passed by this parliament, but then supported by future parliaments, because I think this policy can only be effective if it's something that is continued on for a number of years and provides ongoing support for businesses and firms and universities and others that invest in medical research. Medical research is an inextricably risky venture. It's an investment that requires a long view, that requires a long relationship, that requires commitment, and people are only going to make those kinds of commitments if they can be sure that there is a stable and consistent government policy set from Canberra. So I do very much hope not only it's supported by this parliament, but also by future parliaments. If in the time remaining I can also reflect on some ancillary issues related to this bill. While this bill will help underpin the funding for medical research in this country, there are other issues that also face our medical innovation sector, and I think it's also incumbent on future governments and perhaps the advisory boards established by this bill to consider and push for fundamental change that eases the red tape on the introduction of medical products. We do have not only one of the most stringent regimes in the world, which is right and proper that there is a stringent regime on the introduction of medical products, but we also have a regime that's quite restrictive and less flexible than some of the regimes that exist overseas. So, for example, in Europe, medical products firms can seek to be accredited by a range of certifying bodies that exist in different countries, and therefore they can often get more, if you like, silver service from those bodies to make sure that their products do reach market as soon as possible. In Europe, it does not seem to compromise safety standards whatsoever, but that stimulus of competition does seem to ensure that the red tape that is needed is there, that is necessary, not more than necessary, and helps facilitate a vibrant medical products industry. In this country, we don't have that. We have some mutual recognition arrangements with other countries, but the fundamental accreditation body here in Australia is the one choice, and our firms can't go to other countries or other certifying bodies. I think that's a reform that should be looked at in the future. The only other thing I wanted to say is I do credit the government for conducting a review at the moment on IP. I do think the legal issues around the proliferation of patents and issues around the potential gaming of intellectual property are a serious issue, and of course go beyond just the medical products industry itself, but patents and IP law are also, of course, a very important part of the framework which helps support medical research, and it very much we need to have a patent system. Necessary evil is a temporary monopoly for people that do invent new and better products, but they should be restricted to products that do actually provide a new and proper benefit. And if I can just wrap up again by saying I do hope the Parliament gets behind this bill. It is a future plan for an extremely important industry in this country. It is not just a plan to help promote, protect and support the health of Australians. It's also a plan to help promote, protect and grow the jobs and prosperity that is delivered by this sector in our community. It is something that it's a strength of this country, something that should be built on, and this bill will help do that.
Thank you, Senator Canavan.